I get to teach you your next sight word today, and I am very excited. Polly Pocket and Zach and Zoe, they did a great job teaching you those first two words that we learned this week. We learned the word I, and we learned the word see. Well, I get to do the next one because Polly took a ride on her unicorn, and they were going to Alaska. Yeah, they were going to have lunch with the Eskimos. Doesn't that sound super fun? So I said, don't worry, Polly, I will do the last sight word for this week, okay? So she said, okay, I could do it. So let's take a look. The word that we are learning today, well, what letter is that? A. That's the word, too. That's actually the word, A. So let me use it in a sentence so that you can kind of get a little bit of an idea. I see a pumpkin. Can you think of a sentence maybe that you can use? Maybe you say, I see a, and then think of a word. Oh, you have a good imagination. Okay, now I am going to see if I can find this word inside of all my sight words here. Do you see it? Up, look, it's orange. It's right here. Did you see that before I did? You have good eyes. That's the word we're going to work on today, A. So I took one of the pockets that came off of our word wall because you know Polly loves those pockets. Now this A looks a little bit different. This is a fancy A. And it's an important one to know because you're going to see this a lot in books. Okay, so you can write it like this, but sometimes you'll see it like this when you're reading books, okay? So I'm going to put this right in here. And I'm going to show you our word wall, okay? So let's take a look and head on over there. Okay, there it is. The way that we use this is if we needed to spell a word and we couldn't remember, we needed a little bit of help, we could walk right over here to our alphabet wall and we could take this little stick right out of here, okay? And we could use it to help us write it down on our papers, okay? So I'm actually gonna take this with me because we're gonna practice writing this today. Alrighty, now we're in front of our word wall. Do you see that? That up there says word wall. And we have all of the letters in the alphabet up here. Oh, look, right there. Do you see what I added? I added the word A, our sight word A, and of course, I put it under A because that's what it starts with. In fact, that's how you spell it. It's just A. And if you notice, I still have our other words up here from the other day too. There's I, okay? And do you guys remember what the other word was that we put up here in our word wall? Right there, C. We used that one. So now we have 3 words on our sight word wall. Well, this isn't our, well, we put sight words in all kinds of other words too. So it's not just sight words, but a lot of sight words go up here. Okay, they go up first. Okay, so I see a. I kind of just made like a sentence. Let's try that again. Watch. I see a. I could use those 3 words and I could make an entire sentence. I could say, I see a dog. Or I see a chicken. Or I see a, you think of a word now. Good job. Okay, so now how about if we look at our worksheet that we are going to use for today. So it's right here. It's in this same packet that we did our I and our C. So let me find the right one. Here it is. Look, super fancy looking, okay? There is our sight word A. Now remember, Polly taught us this, but sight words are just when you look at the word and you just know it by sight. You have to memorize them. You have to get it in your head. So when we look at this, we just know it says A. We know that, okay? And you can practice all the way across here. If you would like to, before you do that, if you would like to, you can do it on here. Remember the other day we did I and we did C, and today we can do A, okay? So one way that you could do that is you could just, you have a whiteboard eraser. You don't have to use your fingers. I always tell my students, don't use your fingers, it makes a mess, and then I did it. Okay, but it was just a few words, so I think I'm okay. All right, so you could just practice your A, write it. Oop, I'm sorry, right there. Write it, let me do that again because you didn't see me. You could write it and read it, A. Remember Mrs. Schmidt, I told you I do it like this. Mrs. Schmidt does it like this. I go around and then up and down. So you could just read it A. Or if you want to, you could put it into a sentence. You could use our first sight word that we did, which was I, okay? And then you would do a finger space. And then you could do the second word that we learned, C, okay? And then do another finger space. And then you could add the last sight word that we just learned, A. I, C, A. All right, now how about if we think of a word that we can do right here? How about cat? Okay, so let's actually spell that word, cat. Katina, cat. I hear a C, do a finger space. What is that? Alligator. Cat. Ooh. T. Timmy, tiger. Cat. I see a cat. And you're going to learn about this pretty soon. That's a period. Oh, look. I just did an entire sentence with my sight words. Is that amazing? I see a cat. Whoa. Now, you don't have to do all of that at all, but I just wanted to show you how cool it is that once you learn several different words, you can actually make sentences. Isn't that great? Let's read the words we know, okay? We know I, we know C, we know A. I, C, A. Now you do it. How many sight words do you know? 3. You haven't memorized. You might know more than that, but this is where we're going to start and make sure the whole class is practicing and make sure they know these really, really well. Okay, have fun practicing your A today.